Hey everybody, welcome back to Beyond the Pine, episode 12. This is a pretty great week for us. We have people next door doing construction work because they just moved into the office. I don't know who they are or what they look like, but...
It's not construction.
Could they do it a little louder, please?
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
Perfect.
Old for a clause?
Old for a clause.
Where'd you even...
That doesn't mean anything.
I don't know why I ever asked where'd you come up with that.
Improv, dude.
Improv.
We
We had a very nice... God damn it.
I don't think anyone can hear that, but we'll hear it and be like, shut up. And they're like,
That's
just
so
do the podcast.
frustrating. Like, what do they even need to hammer into the walls? Did we do that when
Nails,
we got
probably
here?
nails.
Anything.
Anything that goes on the
Screws.
wall.
Most things, yeah. Why do we choose to do the podcast
Nail
on
and
the one
screws.
day that they're setting up? This is frustrating.
There's only like 6 old guys that are renting out that office. They're literally
That's what it
like,
feels like, yeah.
7 years old.
They are 7.
770. Yeah, 7.
Check me out, okay?
Anyway, welcome back. We have some iTunes reviews to read. I don't know if we read them last week, but this week we sure do.
Do I
James
have
is
them
loading them
last
up on his laptop, and I just want to get this out of the way real quick. And this is just for anyone who's watching instead of just listening to the audio.
Rub-a-dub-dub, everybody. We got new products. It's Mr. Clean's new shampoo.
I still have splashes on the back of my head.
You look
Yes.
cute, though, dude.
Thanks, man.
I want to kiss your head again.
Don't.
I will. Be every
You
day.
kiss my head every day before you leave.
Yes. Goodbye, little... And I shine it.
What is that man bringing? Well, also, these are honestly the oldest men I've ever
Yeah.
seen. What is that? How did they get
There's
a
no
new
way
office
they're
building?
still alive past
What's their
tonight.
business?
$10 on them, all dropping dead tonight. Just of old age.
They're all just standing outside
peacefully
the
in their
door,
beds.
like coughing.
That's not a place to
They're
stand.
building coffins in there because they know they're going to die tonight.
So,
Wow, finally something funny.
Autumn's only staring at the trial that she sees
Wax.
running out.
Don't
just
talk
like,
about my
fuck.
trial, dude.
okay, there's no sponsor this week, but if you want to go onto Rooster Teeth first and make an account, that would help us out greatly. We have a lot of new content going up on Rooster Teeth, including gaming videos.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a gaming series once a week. This week we played Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And I'm not going to spoil anything that happens in it, but there is a lot of travesty, specifically from one person who doesn't know where the planets are aligned.
No, a lot of people don't, to be fair. I have done this study.
You and Sammy Joe don't. That's
And
a
Chandler.
very small sample.
That's 3 people.
3 people.
Versus
like-
2 that
I
do.
think
of your
Chandler
group,
was just
though.
trying to make you feel better.
Yeah.
3 and 2.
Saying that her best friend and her best friend's boyfriend didn't know. So
Also,
I
that's
asked
also
him.
why Sammy Joe and you are meant to be together.
I know we are.
No idea of the planets,
Do you know
nor
how much I
street
love
signs.
her? Do you know how much I love her?
Does Sammy Joe know how to read street signs?
Of course she does.
Then you're covered.
I taught her.
You taught her.
After I found out, she didn't find out.
Not only do we have a gaming series going up on Rooster Teeth First, we also have a bloopers series going up. We have a
I'm
couple
excited for
episodes of
that.
that ready already, and they should be up today,
Gaming
right?
show, BTS, bloopers,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll probably come up with another show, honestly. Sorry,
So-
coughed up some bean on there.
You can sign up for Rooster Teeth First using code SP7, all one word.
Or Code Kib.
Nope,
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Kidding.
No, just
Doesn't
SP7.
exist.
You can use that code, and if you keep it's a free month, but if you
Kid.
go past that, that is a way to support us. If you get charged, please help.
Hey,
because we need
And
it.
buy merch, honestly.
Do you ever
Oh,
wish
you
that
can-
Kib's name was Kid?
No.
No. Oh, one
Kid, the
piece of
Kraken.
good news. We actually haven't gotten demonetized on the past 2 videos. Like directly, usually when I upload or Autumn uploads, right away demonetization.
And you know what's odd about that? I immediately thought it was going to be taken down not for like a copyright purpose, but because of the cow's picture that we had that was just...
Yes.
And you didn't blur it at all.
Dude,
I was like, that's
I had a bunch of
instantly
dead
taken down.
cows.
Being like fucking mutilated. I
Yeah.
was like, how isn't that taken down? But videos with nothing are
The
just
machine
not
hasn't
allowed on
learned.
YouTube.
Clearly.
It's not. It's literally a 3-year-old going, take it down. Put it up. Take it down.
You have a wet booger just hanging out.
Keep it. So we have some great little iTunes reviews to read for you guys that you guys wrote. And we're going to start off with, do you want to take the first one, actually?
Then we'll go.
So just go from the top.
Yep.
All right. So this one is from Domino93. I like the word Domino. I've
Me
thought of
too.
it making it my rap name, but
You big
we'll
Domino
see.
Pizzas fan?
Yeah.
What's
I like the garlic crust.
I don't really get, is there a metaphor there? Like little spots of black?
Nope.
So the first podcast
mostly white.
review, mostly white, knocking down other whites that are speckled with black.
Very
Who's
good.
What? Who's white?
Dalmatian in a way.
You're white, Autumn.
That's
I'm
not.
sorry to break it
half
to you.
true.
So the first podcast review we'll be reading is a 5-star review. Wow. Stingy. For intellectuals only is the title.
Very true.
From You Mental Ow on Twitter, smiley face. Hello, potential listener. This is a funny podcast. I recommend it a whole lot. It's really good. Also, the only reason I wear a headband is because of Kib. So thanks. Tons of Choco.
Can't be that
Swagger all around. 5 out of 5. Watch every podcast. Funnier than the bits, in my opinion. Thank
Not
you,
at all.
I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe.
sometimes.
When I say things on here that are funny, it's funnier than
Oh, good. We have one from Josep Spence, who, or I guess their username is Asdefgig. They say, I love the SP7 group and all of their productions. Might as well call them Midas because everything they touch is gold.
Don't do that.
Isn't the
though.
Midas touch not a gold thing?
It is. It's exactly
it is?
a gold thing.
King Midas. Everything
Oh.
you touch turned to gold.
You guys,
When he touches
I was
love,
thinking of the
you just
Midas.
turn
Oh,
into-
the Midas touch.
That's exactly
That's
what,
the
what that
Midas
is and what
touch.
we've said.
You guys inspired me
touched
to
you too
join an improv
much.
comedy group at my high school land. Really give it
cool.
my all and to get serious about my goals of photography and cinematography. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's really good
Congrats,
news.
buddy.
That's I think what I like hearing about the most is people that
Being
go on
inspired.
and do shit after they.
YouTubers actually will all the time be like, oh, this is why I do it. I do it for you. I only do it for you guys. I don't even do it for me. It's only put a smile on your face. But that's not true in most cases. It's just, it happens to be nice that that's also a result of what you're doing for yourself.
What YouTubers do you know?
So many. Jacksepticeye. I love Jacksepticeye. Thanks
very
for following
nice.
me on Twitter, Jack.
He's like one of the people that says that actually probably means it.
Absolutely. I'm sure a lot of those guys who are like that.
Yeah, it's cool. I had some
What
people
is
come up to
wrong
me
with
at
you?
the premiere and like saying, I love
Jesus,
it when I
guys.
start to talk.
Son of a bitch.
We weren't done with what we were saying.
Nothing was
You,
said.
you were.
I wasn't. I kept going. That's why I was laughing about something.
I love how much you defend yourself when you're clearly just in the wrong.
I disagree sometimes.
What I was going to say, going along with your point, was that like I had people come up to me at the premiere and literally saying, like, meeting fans and have them tell you, I've been starting to get back into photography or cinematography or film and stuff like that. And like this one guy got a job at his dad's like cinematography company. He was a gimbal operator. And
He's a gimp operator. He's a gimp operator.
That's really awesome. Though.
gimbal.
The gamble operator.
Only operates on gimps.
So I love
What
this.
did he? So he a gimp
It's
operator.
not important anymore.
It is.
No, that's cool though. I know exactly what you're gonna say. He said that he was inspired,
What was I going to say?
and you probably took that
What am I
into
thinking right now?
to your heart. You're thinking right now. You're
Still
pissed at
about
Kib.
and Domino's Pizza.
Not Domino's.
What kind of pizza?
So Autumn, do you want to read the last
Yeah.
one?
Blue Crab.
Blue crab pizza. Is that real?
No.
I wish it was.
Oh, it might be. It's some place.
Also, this podcast is not sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. If
But
only.
it should be. Technically, we get free stuff there all the time. That everyone else gets free also.
Which one did you read?
We don't get free stuff there.
We got a discount on coffee today,
Oh, very cool.
and we will tomorrow.
The one girl who works there,
Which
she's
one?
really cool. She always like hooks us up.
Am I reading or are you reading?
No, which one did you read?
I don't
Oh,
think I read.
for God's sake.
You did
Just read that one.
Just read any of
Okay.
them.
All right, the next review says, how do you make all of these stupid jokes so fast? 5 stars.
Simply our
how do you do it?
minds and just how they operate.
We
And
ha-
good chemistry amongst friends.
That's like I think it's 50-50 of like just without tooting our own horn, happening to be naturally good at improv, and then how we vibe together so well. We're always
Without
on the same
tooting
mindset.
your own horn.
Yeah. Without saying we're good at
That's
improv.
like saying no offense and then saying something offensive.
Yeah, no
but at
offense,
least being
but I
aware
fucking
that it
hate
sounds.
you. No disrespect, but I don't respect you.
hey, you're a bit of a fucking piece of shit. No offense.
sense.
No offense.
Hey, look, it's 100% my fault. I completely take the blame.
Right.
It's like you did nothing wrong. It was all me, and I take the blame.
Right.
But fuck you.
Okay, but it's all because I did that bad thing to that one guy, right?
So that actually goes into a terrible joke that we've
We
been
can
making
never
for a little
say.
while that we can never say. Unfortunately, it doesn't play out on screen as well.
Nor in
Tired
real
Son
life.
doesn't either.
Tired
Oh,
son.
tired son. Is that what you're calling it?
Tired son.
Tired son. If that's what you're calling it, you could probably easily do that
Tired
wherever
Yeah,
you want.
tired son is a good.
It's just I
character.
don't think it translates to screen as well.
It does.
Does
And
it? What do you think?
It's in the bloopers.
Yeah, no, it was like
Oh,
good to be in the bloopers.
hey, that's another thing that's gone up on Rooster Teeth
Or
first. We
BTS,
have
I
a
mean.
BTS of the Woods. There's a lot of cool information there.
BTS stands for behind the scenes, and what it is that it's when we're making a movie.
Just showing you after.
So there's a lot of interesting information you can actually get out of that if you want to make your own short film. It shows all the whole process, everyone's where they come from in making a short film and why we all did it. And I think there are a lot of cool people in it, and there's a lot of cool things to learn. So if
Yeah,
you want to check that out,
Don't do what we did though. Give yourself a lot of time.
Good God, give yourself 8 times more.
But if there's a chance concert, you gotta cram.
oh god damn it! Speaking of which, we had more than enough issues going into the premiere. So we had a Rooster Teeth first
more than the actual production.
upload, and then we had a theater upload, which really fucked us. I didn't want to do the theater premiere the whole time.
But that was because you were nervous that there would be it would
was
be
great. It
received
went
poorly,
great.
and then you'd feel embarrassed.
It was both that and, well, I'm luckily you guys and Mimi and Fareed all took charge of the premiere because there's no way Autumn and I could have worked on it. And Autumn actually ended up,
Saving the day.
we'll go into that in a little bit. So we
Hero
had
Autumn.
3 versions: the YouTube version, the Rooster Teeth version, and the and the theater version.
Your fingers like.
Do that. Do the thing.
We had 3 versions of it, and the one that was easily the most difficult to make happen was the theater version because you had to get a DCP. I had no idea what a DCP was before going into this. Turns out it's
Digital cinema package.
yeah. So you have to render out a very specific version of the film from whatever editing program you're using. Unfortunately, I was only able to do it from mine, right? Or did we use yours?
For the DCP,
Yeah.
we had to do it from yours.
From
oh.
mine. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
so they needed a ProRes file, so Steven works on a Mac, Steven works on a PC and I work on a Mac. So initially we're going to try to do it for mine, but I have a shitty laptop, so it's going to take like 13 hours. So Steven had to download a program that could do a ProRes from a PC. It was like a whole thing.
How much was that program?
I don't remember.
That was upwards, I think, of $1,400.
That was a lot of money.
Wow.
Yeah.
The
And it's
their compressor
The
one?
Cynic. It's called
That
Cynic.
was $1,400? That looked like a free program.
It was $1,400. It's the only program I think on the internet that can do that.
Yeah.
Good.
If
It was
you're on
Grand
a
Theft Auto
PC.
3?
Yeah.
Why
So
don't you just
fortunately, they have a little codec in Grand Theft
Find
Auto
your way
3.
to getting it for free.
It wasn't on any website that I could get it for free. I'll be honest.
Damn it, dude.
So I bought it, and we rendered it out. That took only, I think, a couple hours, which was great. I did it overnight. I came back. It was stuck on 96%.
But it worked.
It didn't.
weirdly.
Oh, it did. It
Yeah,
worked. It still
like
worked.
somehow stopped. It
probably
glitched or
worked both
something.
times.
Yeah.
So-
and you just didn't notice.
We bring it. Fareed and I think you guys brought it over to where was it?
It was. I think it's called DCP for All. It's on Hollywood.
And then what separates that from other DCP places?
Their willingness to do a same day. A lot of DCP places don't do same day, and if they do, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, the price.
And they're
also.
considerably cheaper too.
They were considerably cheaper. They worked. I mean, they did the best they could with what we gave them. You know,
Yeah.
like should have gotten it the day before. Honestly, a week before we should have.
So after you guys left, I assumed everything was good. I assumed
So did we.
We were going to be able to.
We knew there was going to be a tight time thing as far as like when it was going to be done, Fareed having to get it and bring it to the theater. But we had faith that it was going to work out, and like just kind of like let it go. And we were like, Fareed even said to the guy, "You're our only hope."
Yeah.
Like,
How scary was that? Do you want to talk about like realizing that? Oh fuck.
Oh, I want to slowly ease into that. So where were you? You were with Sammy Joe.
No, Fareed and I went to go get the DCP.
Oh, the posters.
We went to go get the DCP with the posters. Fareed was going to transfer the posters, which are extremely heavy, from his car into mine, and I was going to go directly to the theater. And then we found out, oh wait, Fareed could have just paid for it and taken the posters himself. And then that's when we found out.
So James and I are in a car on the way to the theater. I think it's about 6 or so.
yeah.
And the premiere starts at
I think it was like 6:30.
8
But yeah,
p.m.
we were
Traffic was
we were like
fucked.
15 minutes out. We were like getting closer to the theater, and get a call from Fareed. And you know we're nervous, but we're also like excited because the premiere's about to happen. We get a call from Fareed. He says,
In tears.
"Guys, the worst news. I have the worst news about the DCP." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "It's not going to be ready. It's at 55%. Meanwhile, it's been working for about 5 hours, and it was only at 55%." And then he's like, "We're working something out, blah blah." And
this was already after Jamie. We were all in the office together at the beginning of the day, and Jamie was like, "Do you need to make a Blu-ray copy?" And I was like, "Nah, probably not. We got this DCP thing going. We're good." And so we had no other options.
yeah, and it was like a moment of just complete
Utter despair.
James and I were in the car, and after that call ended, because I could tell something was horribly wrong, we both just were like, "Oh man, so do we?" Because we can't push the movie date, we can't push the premiere. The theater's not available for a long time, and there was another issue too.
And
the
also,
tickets were
before that-
non-refundable.
Yeah,
At that point, when we'd found out, there were already lines of people
Yeah.
at the theater
Yeah.
waiting to get in.
Right after I got off that phone call, I literally got a text from Lauren. "Oh my God!" A picture of the line. Be like, "Oh my God, so many people
God.
here!" And I was just like,
Both sides of the street, all the way down around the block, waiting to get in.
a joking idea that we were all talking about earlier was doing a live performance of The Woods, and that seemed like more of a reality than actually getting the movie done. So 5 minutes after we initially got that call from Fareed, what happened?
So, We were there. We were in a moment of despair. I said a quick prayer. We were figuring out what we could possibly do. Kind of a little bit of like acceptance, I think, set in to us of like, this is fucked. Get a call back from Farood about 10 minutes later saying, guys, Autumn brought her hard drive and her computer with the movie on it. We're going to see if we can get it to work at the projection. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Like, okay, like, let us know. He's like, okay, I'll call you back in like a few minutes. Calls us back. Guys, we're good.
It worked.
It
It worked
worked.
fully.
We actually managed
And it was
to
great
hook it
quality.
up, and
There was
it's
like
fine.
one little,
It
like,
was a little stuttery, but it
but
wasn't too bad.
I gotta get that text that Autumn sent to the group earlier in the day because it's saved everything.
should be in the group with all of us.
Yeah. Let's see, James, Autumn. Okay, so this is probably it right here. These are reservations. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Okay, I don't have it. Well, we got a text earlier in the day from Autumn who was like, hey, I think I'm going to bring my laptop and my hard drive to the premiere just in case anything goes wrong. And everyone was like, oh, that's a good idea. And it was, because Autumn saved the goddamn day. She's the
Yay.
reason that premiere even went at all. And honestly, when we were watching it on screen, like, it wasn't as good as quality as the DCP would have been. It was still very good.
Yeah, it was very good.
We weren't able to. The part that bums me out is we made this really fucking stupid, or you guys made this really fucking stupid trailer.
So James and I came up with an idea to make a parody trailer. Originally, I was just gonna do one for my channel only, and then we were like, wait a minute, let's make like a funny parody trailer for The Woods that goes before it, showing it like it's an actual trailer before a movie in the theater. And holy hell, it was so funny. We thought anyways, and we were gonna show it at the theater, and we weren't able to. So I was so mad, but it's okay. It still turned out okay, and it's gonna be on YouTube. So you'll still be able to see it. I'm gonna put it on my channel as well to advertise for The Woods.
And it goes right before the Woods. We have like the trailer, and then we have a couple little like and now for your feature premiere, and then it goes straight into the Woods.
I was almost more excited for the trailer than I
was
was
too.
the
I was
film
excited
in
to see
general.
people laugh.
I wanted to be there in the theater and like see what people found funny and like experience everyone laughing all at the same
In
time
person.
in a big room.
You don't get to experience that with vlogs.
You never get to experience that. So I was so excited for that. And when I found out we weren't gonna be able to show it, I was like, can I go back to the office? No, God, no. The traffic was awful. There was zero chance of that.
I mean, the good thing too, though, like going on to that, is we were able to experience The Woods with everyone there, and I think that for me,
that was
definitely
amazing.
that was the most like exciting, like electric feeling I ever felt. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
like because we knew everything that was coming and that was gonna happen and shit, and like seeing people like react to certain points and like the ending, like. I was so stoked seeing that and everyone fucking cheering and shit. Like,
I was also excited because that version that we were able to show in the theater, and likewise with YouTube, we were pretty much able to use whatever song we wanted. Rooster Teeth on the first, if you've seen that version of The Woods, it's not the one with the completed songs, the original songs that we intended to use because of copyright reasons. But on YouTube, it doesn't matter exactly because YouTube has a policy where and it's super interesting. You can go to the creator section on YouTube near where the music library is, and you can type in a song. It allows you to check for music policies, and if there's a song that says, yeah, you can use it, and it's a big artist, but you just can't monetize it, that's a huge option.
I think
really
most
cool.
are like that. I
Yeah.
think you can use most of any music
long as you don't
I
monetize
think that's
monetize
such
it,
an overlooked feature, though, like because you just found out about that, right?
No, I knew about it for a while. I just never use it because I
Yeah.
usually get permission from the artists.
Yeah, but it's still cool because that means we could like. There's a video where we really want to use a really dope song, and maybe it's like a 5-minute video, so it's not like a huge one. We could use a song that's epic and like.
I consider that like an investment too, and we've done that countless times where we know it's gonna get caught because it's a big song, but
the
we're
video's
like,
gonna get
it's
demonetized
just so good, and like it wouldn't be the same without it. So we're
Exactly.
like, it's an investment. What's like the couple $1,000s maybe that the video would make for the investment of it?
Couple
being,
$1,000. That
if it gets 1 million views, it'll go.
if it
couple
gets a million
$1,000s.
views, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what
think
I
we
mean.
have any million views videos. Oh, you know what? Actually, just
The
passed
Bro
on
Threesome.
Bro Threesome. Holy shit! From way back in the day. That was when Kevin and I lived in Toluca Lake. But the whole theater screening, I was extraordinarily nervous the entire time.
I know you were.
Man, like, it's just having almost every peer that we have, almost every
And
friend that
full
we
screen
have,
members? Did
family members.
Ezra go or anybody
No.
from full screen?
No, they were watching it on RT first when it premiered. So
Oh,
it was-
okay.
Oh no, it was the next.
Because I know
morning
they
watched it.
booked
Yeah.
like 60 seats full screen
Yeah.
in general.
And then it was all filled out, and there were a bunch of people there that I was just like, I had to remind myself, no, you know what? These people like our videos. That's the reason they're here. They're probably going to enjoy this anyway. And I think it has enjoyable moments. And it's not the greatest
Absolutely.
short film ever made.
No,
you know,
of
it's
course.
a
It
it's
is
a
what it
very,
is. It's
It's
exactly
a
what it is.
horror
It's our first
slasher in
one.
the form of a monster movie.
All you can do
was
though
fun.
is like do your first one and then grow from there.
Exactly.
The fact that it's out there is important because I don't know if I talked about this on a previous podcast or who mentioned it to me. They it might have been Jamie or Mimi. They said that they had a friend who made a really, really shitty short film. a really shitty one. But the fact that he had a crew and the fact that they all made it, the fact that he got it out there in the world, allowed him to get picked up for a much bigger project.
People can see potential, even like in a piece of shit. There's still a shiny little golden nugget.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Not that
it's
it was a
just-
piece of shit, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Even if
absolutely.
you felt it was a piece of shit.
Like I think there were a lot of elements that went into The Woods that were great.
Yeah.
I think that it's tricky with a short film. Like I think I've said this to you guys before. I think a quality short film is like a scene that could work in a full feature movie or something like that. So it's hard to do like a whole full story arc in a short film, even if it is like 20, 30 minutes, because you need proper character development so that you give a shit about the characters. You need like stories without plot holes and shit like that, and like enough of a story that people give a shit.
And as unfortunate as it is, there were plot points in the film that in the screenplay I think were they were
Overlooked.
Yeah, I think during the filming, like with all the shortcuts that we had to, all the corners we had to cut, I think there were a lot of plot points that also got cut with that too. Like, I mean, well, I'm not going to say specifically. You'll figure it out when you watch it. But I think there are very enjoyable moments in it. And I think for our first short film, it's reasonable.
For what it was,
Like,
yeah. And we make comedy videos on YouTube, so for us to like step out of our comfort zone and make shit that we're just passionate about, I think it's cool. And one very important thing is like we're all the type of people that we're not just like, oh hell yeah, dude, this is the best shit we've ever made. This is gonna take us places. We're like, we know what it is. We know that we appreciate it and that our fans will appreciate it, and we want to do better next time.
Yeah, I think a huge goal for me down the line is to never actually act in one of the films.
Never
that I make.
again.
No, I mean, the only reason I even have to act in any of these right now is for promotional reasons. That's the main thing. It's like I'm not an actor.
I just want to get better at acting, and I want to be in everything we make if possible. You know what I mean? So I want to just be better.
I'm talking about like for my future career down the line.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if I ever actually want to make a film or something, then
True.
I want to have it with like, the guy from that show Louis, who was the bully in that one scene. Unbelievable actor. Like I want to put people like that in whatever I do. Next.
And me.
And James.
and me
And Jodham.
and me.
John.
Hey, let's
Yeah.
cut to a mid-roll real quick. Hopefully YouTube will give us one. Oh, also big thanks to Jeff and Millie for coming out.
Oh,
and
Oh yeah.
Oh,
they were
yeah.
very
Shout out.
supportive. Jeff did he moderated the Q&A, and Millie was actually, I don't know what they're called, but she accepted
Usher?
everybody. An usher.
Yeah.
No,
That was
she
really-
wasn't an usher.
Oh, what's an usher?
Ushering tickets. I
Uh,
thought that's what that
No,
was.
that's a ticket taker. An usher was what Lauren listened to.
Oh, right,
You're
right.
right. Yep.
Oh yeah, they took
Check
that
out
upon
the
themselves. I had no idea they were going to
No,
do that. That was
we
very
asked them
helpful.
to.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Everybody.
And they didn't do that good of a job. No, it's funny because I kept like going back over there and they were just talking to each other and like people were just walking in. And I was like, hey guys,
If you're going to do
check
it.
the thing.
Yeah. It was.
But I love you guys, especially Lauren.
All in all, it was a great night, and to have people there, it felt like a family in a way. It
Yeah.
felt like a big ass family,
Yeah,
and I
that's
hope we're
cool.
able to do more movie premieres like that in the future.
Oh
yeah. Well,
Especially,
I mean, I think the fact that we just did it is huge. That's
Yeah.
like we did it, so now we kind of know the process a little bit, and like the next time it'll just be smoother.
and what's
you
the chance
know?
there's a Chance concert next time?
Yeah.
Very
Big.
little.
We'll
Oh.
make sure of it.
He sets
No,
it up.
I just want to
Books
say
one in
though,
LA.
like screening a film that you make at a theater has been a fucking dream of mine. Like that, it's unbelievable that like we're still so young and so like new at all this, but we're like taking those risks and doing bigger things, even when we might not have like the easiest time, or like we're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't right now because we have other shit to do, but we're doing it. Shut up.
Let that be a lesson, though, because I mean, I for one have never been the type to extend myself to reaches like this before, and even in the process of people that are willing to do it for me, I still am very hesitant. So the fact that it went through and that I felt good about it is a sign that you should probably also take risks like that too,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
don't.
No, you gotta take risks in life.
But
That's
it's
true,
it's
yeah.
important.
It's so good to like do those things that you're afraid to do, because then once you do them, they become easier and easier, and you just
Yeah.
like you literally grow and become better.
Yeah.
And
Like
Oh, and
that's-
shout out to Jamie for opening the
Oh,
night
yeah.
the
Yeah.
movie.
so good.
He did
so
He did
great.
great.
He's a little stand-up comedian up there.
He's a little stand up.
I
He's
Funny
cute.
boy.
I appreciate him and
Little
Mimi so
boy.
much.
Yeah, I know. They're amazing
work.
people.
That leads into Kevin Spacey, the pedophile.
Nice.
Right, so I'm sure you all know Kevin Spacey is one of the best baseball players of all time.
Another reason to hate Baby Driver.
No, it was another reason to hate Twitter moments briefly,
Yeah.
because I looked on there and I saw something about Kevin Spacey and someone coming out, and I was like, no, not him.
Explain it to me like I don't know.
Okay, so Kib, since you clearly know, Kevin Spacey, someone, I forget who it was, alleged that Kevin Spacey had made...
What was his name? Oh, can I have my computer?
Something rad, I think.
Just would hand you the beans
Rap.
instead. Just the box. We're all out.
So someone had
Anthony Rapp.
alleged... what is his name?
Anthony Rapp.
What did he
Rapp.
exactly do?
So he, let me see if I can find exactly.
And he was at the ripe age of 14.
So he said, I don't know if this is
Who's that?
Exactly, it's me. I don't know if this is exactly like his initial statement, but this is something that Anthony Rapp said. Anthony Rapp, I think, is known for the new Star Trek show.
Right.
That's what he's most known for right now. He said, I came forward with my story, standing on the shoulders of the many courageous women and men who have been speaking out to shine a light and hopefully make a difference, as they have done for me. Everything I wanted to say about my experience is in that article, and I have no further comment about it at this time. So I guess basically what had happened was back in, I think it was 88 or 89, like it was in the 80s, Anthony Rapp was, I think, 14. Kevin Spacey was, doesn't matter how
He was
old he was,
26,
he
I
was
think.
much older than 18 or any consensual age to be fucking around with this kid. He made advances toward him. He sexually abused him or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the extent of it. I don't think that's public yet, but like the fact is that he did it, and it like that honestly really pissed me off. Kevin Spacey was a huge idol of mine. And I always have like thought that he's just one of the most talented actors, like seamlessly, like just simply one of the most brilliant.
He's a mentor for
actors.
acting as well
Yeah,
now.
yeah, he's
He's
great.
great.
Seven?
He's got an acting
Does
school
that
or a
ruin
program.
seven
A
for you?
master class or something.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
And that's just, I mean, I think that right now we're in a period of time where like a lot of that is happening, where people that you admire, people that you respect, or whatever, even if you don't know in person, whatever, people that like are in the industry that are doing things important and have been for a while, you're realizing that like it's like shattering the glass. It's like not all these people, like the idols that we think of, you know,
Like Tarantino, even. The
He
fact that
fucked
he
me.
knew about, he fucked Kib, and the fact that he knew about all allegedly, the fact that he knew about the whole Weinstein thing and didn't do anything is disgusting.
Yeah.
It's makes me see. That's where you have to like separate the art from the artist, but then sometimes you just can't, and that definitely puts a damper on I think a lot of Tarantino's films for me. Which
Yeah.
is
With Tarantino, like with him, it's like he's also part of the art of his artistry, because like he didn't go to school. And I mean, his whole persona plays into why he's so good.
Yeah.
So like that totally just puts a fucking
and I
mud
mean,
layer over
and
him. It's
especially like
fuck, dude.
I don't think it's. I mean, it's pretty much figured out that Quentin Tarantino knew about it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Harvey Weinstein made his career.
Yeah.
Like, he put out all of his films, I think, in Miramax, which was him and Harvey and Bob's company.
Yeah.
Like, you have to know. Like, you're going to parties with this guy. You're getting brought out to like special events with this
You
guy.
know how
like,
he acts
your
around
personal like relationship. Yeah, exactly. You know how he acts with people, and like, you can't. It's one thing to like just want to ignore it because you're like, I can't accept that, but to just turn a blind eye to it and like
Being
know
so
that it's
close and
happening.
involved with his everyday
it's
life.
just-
Yeah.
And then you really have to wonder how that plays into the YouTube climate, because these are a lot younger people that are watching these videos. There are a lot, and then events like VidCon.
There was
and everything.
so many pedophiles that have already been exposed on YouTube from fucking Keemstar, like, and there's probably countless more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
Really?
if that's
Keemstar's done that.
Yeah.
he has before.
He's exposed many, like 3
Like-
plus, 4
like he's
plus.
the first one
have
to
the
expose
exposés
it, or-
been like, warranted
Absolutely.
for the most part,
For the most part, yeah, I would say.
or do you
he's
think-
like a drama king, but like, yeah, there are
I
some that literally
appreciate-
have like.
I appreciate the entertainment value of Keemstar. I really do. I think that it's probably best those types of things left to actual authorities.
Absolutely, yeah, he has no place to be talking about serious things like that.
Because
Talk about drama.
Because you can accidentally ruin someone's career, even if they're just allegations, and if it's not even true. That's the only issue with that.
And that's another thing like that I think with all of this coming out right now, and this has been like the past few years too, like a lot of big stars that have allegations set against them, like it's hard to really know if they're true or not. And because, you know, some people believe that simply to make an allegation towards somebody means that it's true and it happened because they, you know, that's why they're saying that and they have the right to do that. But at the same time, you know, people that are, I'm not even gonna say in power, but have influence and are like big time actors or filmmakers
Can
or even
will
like
do that,
whatever.
yeah.
Like they can do that, but they also are in a place sometimes to be
Taken
wrongly
advantage of.
victimized.
And I
and
think
It's so
like
hard
for
to
monetary reasons, for status reasons, like
And how do you know?
The scariest part is it's very, I mean, with the climate, and I think rightfully so, because it's better to the shotgun effect for victims to believe the victim. It's very difficult to refute.
You're immediately like,
True.
how could you do that to this person?
It's very difficult
You
to
ever
refute.
feel
Like,
sympathetic for that person with the potential of what he
and
may
even
have
if it's
done
and
or
even
may
if
not
they
have
didn't
done.
do it, the simple accusation, even if it was proven to be wrong,
Tarnishes your
is
reputation
still
forever.
like you're
Absolutely.
still seen as that. Like I
Like
think there
Michael
was
Jackson.
I think that there was a movie with was it fuck what's his name? The guy who played in Rogue One, the guy who played the dad, who designed the Death Star, that actor. It was like a Swedish film or something, and he was a
yeah.
yeah, you've heard of that. He was
Yeah.
a teacher, and one of the students, I think it was like a third grade class when they were very young. One of the students had said to their parents, like, oh, he touched me. And the whole movie is like whether that happened or not, and how just simply the
Amazing
idea of
movie.
it can like turn into like almost as bad as it actually
Also,
happening.
one of the hardest actors' names to say. It's
Mads Mikkelsen.
It's something like that, and the last name at least. It's depressing. I think the worst part about the Kevin Spacey situation, I mean, not the worst part, but another thing that just added icing onto the ass crack was when his PR
Mads
move,
Mikkelsen.
Yeah, his PR move was
He's great.
to come out as gay.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
PR move was to come out as gay, and that was to take. That's what he's going to hopefully. His PR team is going to hopefully have all the articles say about him.
That
Not
doesn't help
the-
his situation.
Well, it is, but
No,
here's why.
So, yeah.
Because the articles are all going to say Kevin Spacey comes out as gay instead of Kevin Spacey sexually assaulted a 14-year-old.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Wouldn't it
it's gonna
both?
be
Or
the.
you mean that would just
It
overshadow
could be both for
I-
some.
I think that the. go
No,
ahead.
I already saw like Reuters was getting a lot of shit because they released an article that literally said that it was Kevin Spacey came out as a gay man, and people were like, "That's not the story at all." It's like all these news organizations are getting called out though.
also,
Thankfully,
They're
I thought
mixing
everyone
those
kinda
together like
knew.
he came out as gay and did this.
Well, here, I'll read the official statement that Kevin Spacey put out on his Twitter. I have a lot of respect and admiration for Anthony Rapp as an actor. I'm beyond horrified to hear his story. I honestly do not remember the encounter. It would have been over 30 years ago. But if I did behave then as he describes, I owe him the sincerest apology for what would have been deeply inappropriate drunken behavior, and I'm sorry for the feelings he describes having carried with him all these years.
So before we get into the next paragraph, he says, so he must remember it because I owe him the sincerest apology for what would have been a deeply inappropriate drunken.
He's saying
so
what
he
would
knew
have
he was
been,
drunk.
He's saying he's covering his ass. He's saying like I don't remember it, but if that's what happened, I'm sorry because that would have been insane and drunk of me to do.
So he's basically saying it's true, but he's not giving anybody ammunition to
Yeah, he's
actually
I'm
charge
glad
him.
he didn't just go no, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
At least he's like sort of slyly taking some credit for it
in a terrible, terrible
in
way.
a terrible way. But
A
I've
better-
seen so many people just go nope.
I mean, I guess if he actually said that he did it, then he could
Even worse.
be taken to court.
Exactly.
You know, like all these stories coming out with like Harvey and all these other things, like they affect me, but you know, you're pissed about it. You're like, this fucking piece of shit. But this one, like, this one's different. This one, like, I feel really bad about because it is someone that I admire, and it's just like, I mean, even look at like the thing with Ben Affleck and Harvey Weinstein, like Ben Affleck's statement about Harvey and stuff like that, and how
What did he say about Harvey?
he said, I'd have to watch it again,
And then
but
there were allegations brought up about Ben Affleck too.
Wow.
many.
But
Oh yeah, we saw a video where he was just like James and I actually were watching. I mean, this could be
The hand grab?
a poor example, but
There were a
he
few
was just
different ones.
flirting with
There
the girl
were-
who was flirting back was very forward, but she was like
That was
like-
one of them. That was one of the examples that we used that I didn't think was that bad, but there were
Yeah, I
other videos too.
I haven't seen those.
And
yeah,
again,
I've
that's
only-
another thing. Like, I really admire Ben Affleck as a director, first and foremost. But like, yeah, it's just like these things. Like, I hope that like if the day would ever come that any of us were to like be higher up of status in like any sort of situation, I just like, is that just a thing that happens to people, or is that something
Well,
that they are like their
I
whole
think
life, or is it like
it kind of makes you wonder like how our power structure is now and like what kinds of people rise to those kinds of positions
Yeah.
of power. It's like you kind of have to wonder if like character flaws, like you're willing to take advantage of people or like you're power hungry, like that will just like let you climb this like structure that we have. So it's
Yeah.
like we kind of have to break that down and like rebuild it. So good
Yeah.
people come into power, but that's hard
maybe
to
they
do.
won't be as creative. Maybe we'll
I
get
don't know.
worse films from people that aren't pedophiles. Who knows?
Could
No.
be.
No,
no? Because I can think
Sorry.
of a lot of good people who are really really talented.
But
Keanu
maybe-
Reeves.
Maybe he's bad too, and you don't know it yet. 2 years from
That
now, we
would
find
suck,
out Keanu
man.
Reeves raped me.
Who would you be the most disappointed with if they came out as a pedophile? Or
Jim Carrey.
honestly, probably.
I'd be crushed.
Dude, Jim Carrey's fucking weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
he's
he's
kind of a
weird
freak.
now, but I mean, like, I'd be crushed if I found
Yeah,
that
no, I'd
out.
be
Oh,
crushed. about
Steve
it.
He's like
Carell.
raised me.
That would be the
Yeah,
worst,
that'd be sad.
dude.
He's such a good
Krill.
boy.
Stephen Colbert.
No.
Not a big. I mean, like him. I respect
I'd be
him.
like,
He's talented.
I don't know. Like Steve Carell. Holy shit, man.
That would
Yeah, that would be
crush.
I
awful.
would-
I would be so
Chris
sad.
Chris
Yeah,
Pratt,
that would suck.
I mean, I was already a little like upset with what happened with him and his wife. They split up, which is sad because they had such a
Yeah.
nice story.
Yeah.
And
It
it just-
sounded like though that they split up for like
Amicable reasons.
yeah.
Yeah, it was amicable, but
I
it
mean,
was
still
also
shitty, but
yeah, it's still shitty. I mean, like especially the story with their son and everything, like which is just like a
Yeah.
heartwarming thing, like
no.
what happened with their son and all that. But like I don't know, maybe they'll work it out.
Yeah.
So
They both are good people. Like,
what's a lesson we can derive from this whole?
Don't touch
Don't rape-
children.
don't rape kids.
Also, like,
Simply
just
don't
stop
rape.
touching people. that
Yeah.
you don't know and
we
don't
literally
want to
were
be
just
touched.
talking
yeah,
about this.
Like, what the
We
fuck?
were like, hey, just get with people that are okay with that.
Dude, I was watching this. I was watching this Colbert thing actually with Dr. Phil was on it, and they were talking about, do you think sex addition's actually a real thing? And Dr. Phil was like, no, it's pretty fucking stupid. Anyone that thinks they have
Really?
a
He
sex
said that.
addiction is probably not
That
right.
just means you're more horny than the average person, which
But
is a thing.
not to take
Not
that
an
out of
addiction.
context, Dr. Phil also said there are, people that he respects that believe that sex addiction is a thing, but he believes that it all just is a culmination of wanting power.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
it all comes down to. That sex addiction is just merely like saying, like
I can't control myself. I'm too horny.
it's an excuse.
Yeah, it is
pretty
definitely
much.
an excuse. Yeah.
Which I totally agree with. I think
Yeah, especially when you look at a lot of like high-profile sexual predators, when they are caught, they always
Pour
pull
me.
that card.
I've always thought that people that said they have sex addictions are fucking idiots, to be
But
honest.
my whole thing is that having a quote-unquote sex addiction is one thing, but why did you rape?
Yeah. And like you said, like have sex with people that want to have sex. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Chris D'Elia like talked about Harvey on one of his podcasts, and literally he was like, sex is supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be difficult to do, to have happen to you. So you don't just go and start jerking off in front of someone. Like, it's supposed to be hard. Like, fuck.
And also, how much confidence could Harvey Weinstein have to do that? Who could be
He went
attracted
into
to
a
him?
room, yeah, and like locked the door and just started jerking off in front of some chick. I forget who it was.
In what reality would he think that she'd be like, awesome?
Wow,
Instead
you're
of, like,
so hot, Harvey.
Yeah.
His gross fucking.
You bulbous gangrenous
What do you think?
fiend.
What do you think? It's really small.
He's a real life. He's a real life
Well, now I'm
Bulbasaur.
off. I gotta go.
Don't talk about Bulbasaur like that, dude.
Sorry, he's a real life Wobbuffet.
There you go.
Well, the
So in a weird way, this actually transitions to James's story time.
So it was 1922. Me and Harvey Weinstein are fresh off the boat.
James is 6 years old.
I was 60 years old. I aged anti-rapidly,
Rapidly murmuring.
No, this doesn't. I didn't finish the statement from
Oh, there
Kevin
was more.
Spacey.
Oh,
The
right.
second half of
Sorry,
it.
sorry.
Which, and if you look at even how this is structured, and you know that Kevin Spacey is the smart guy, I'm sure his PR team probably had a good part of this, but he was still involved, I'm sure. So if you were to look at like the structure of writing, the what you say first is like presenting something, and then what you say after, in a way, is
Backing it up.
not backing it up, but almost
A resolution.
a resolution, and it's more important and it's more focused on what you say after, because it's like a presentation of thoughts, and then it's like what you've summed that up to be, so it's
Yeah.
like the fact that the second paragraph is what everyone's focusing on, and the fact that he put that as a second paragraph, it's like you could look at it at an intent there. So
And
the
I can't
second
wait for his
paragraph-
wife to have read this.
That's what I'm thinking about, yeah, because he's done so much to keep his private life private, and it's like, what else are you hiding, dude? So the second paragraph. This story has encouraged me to address other things about my life. I know there are stories out there about me, and some have been fueled by the fact that I've been so protective of my privacy. As those closest to me know, in my life I have had relationships with both men and women. I have loved and had romantic encounters with men throughout my life, and I choose now to live as a gay man. I want to deal with this honestly and openly, and that starts with examining my own behavior. What does you being gay
Have
or
anything to do with
that examining your own behavior, what is your sexual orientation have to do with your sexual predatoriness?
Yeah, like you
Towards
said,
a
it's
child.
Predatory nature.
Yeah. It's like, it's to take the limelight off of him.
Oh,
being a
absolutely.
predator. It's to be like, well, I was gay, and now I got to work on myself. It was like, I got to work on myself was the excuse for the rape-ish.
And it's like, of course you're gay if you preyed on a male child. That's a gay
Yeah,
thing to
I
do.
don't like that. That should have been a separate
It
thing.
should have, absolutely.
He should-
Because if you
he-
look at anything, I'm like, I don't care if you're gay, straight, trans, whatever. You're a pedophile, dude.
Yeah.
You're a pedophile. If a grown man touches a young boy, obviously that's a gay thing to do. Like, it's a gay actions. You're a pedophile. If a guy touches a young girl, it's not gay, it's straight. You're a pedophile.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. You're a pedophile, dude. And I'm pissed about this.
If you're
I really
watching
am.
this, you're a pedophile, dude.
Honestly, a very it's saddening.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
sad because it's like truly one of the most talented actors.
Like, who can you look up to? If Daniel Day-Lewis came out and something about him came out, I would be absolutely devastated. I think that's the person who I would most be
Yeah.
devastated by.
He's
Probably Daniel
incredible.
Day-Lewis. Also, on a cool note, Phantom Thread, his last movie, supposedly.
Oh, I
Is-
cannot
He's retired
wait.
like 3 or 4 times though.
Yeah.
And always come back, be like, one more, baby.
One movie, baby.
Dude, I just rewatched Gangs of New York.
Oh,
So good.
so fucking
He,
good.
like he just clearly makes that film. Like I love Scorsese. He's truly, I think, my favorite director.
He's up
But
there for me.
Daniel Day-Lewis makes that film.
Yeah.
He's just so every role he plays,
Unbelievable.
he is that character to the utmost. Like he's just
Hey, I've got a movie not to see for you guys.
Really?
Happy Death Day.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh yeah.
Oh, because it's dog trash. Have you seen Groundhog Day?
Mm-hmm.
They even allude to it towards the end, but because I think they had to.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
It's a horror version of Groundhog Day with a girl that keeps waking up and she keeps dying. She has to find her murderer. She's the only thing that saved that movie.
Mm-hmm.
She good
As it
actress?
turns out. She's a great actress, yeah.
That's good.
But and there actually was a moment in that movie that was one of the funniest moments I've ever seen in a movie, and it was unfortunately because they were making fun of a deaf kid, or they did a deaf impersonation. I just it was so fucking funny
Really?
when that happened. It was so funny.
I love
But the rest of the movie was absolute dog trash. Don't see it. Maybe see it. I don't know. Navy SEAL.
I'm a Navy SEAL.
Right.
Just wanted to briefly.
I do have
say that.
I do have a story time for you guys. We'll get out of the pedophilia and move into spooky Halloween time.
Yeah.
So yes, back to story time with James, and this edition is because Halloween is tomorrow, or today, since it's being uploaded today on Halloween. I have a little bit of a scary story. And this is a story that my grandma
about
actually
Harvey.
told me. So my grandma, she's 89 years old now. She's had a full life of experience and everything. She's lived in L.A.
You okay?
Don't interrupt James during
me?
his story time, dude.
What was that supposed to be?
Sex.
Oh, fuck off.
Look me in my eyes.
Look him in his
No,
eyes, dude. Look him
no.
directly into his eyes.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, look at me.
I'm sorry.
Look him in his
I-
eye. Look him in the eyes.
She probably had a lot of sex.
Look at
Everyone
me.
does.
Now look at me.
Everyone's had a lot of sex.
Look me in my eyes.
That's not true at all.
Apologize.
Your grandma's never had sex.
All right. Anyways, back to the story. So this is when I believe, it was the first house that she moved into with her husband, my grandfather, and it was in L.A. I think it was in like Echo Park type of area. It was on a street called Elsinore Street. So she realized when she moved into this house that there were some eerie things going on. She was always sick, always coming down with something. There were a lot of bugs, like just weird things that you would be uneasy about in a house. And yes, a lot of colds. And this is a short and sweet story. The inciting incident that made her want to move instantly was one day she was hanging up pictures in the hallway, and the hallway went right to the front door, so you could see the front door, down the hallway. And there was like a frosted glass type of design on the door, so you could see through it, but you couldn't see sharply through it. So she was standing on a ladder putting up these pictures, and she heard knocking at the door. So she looked over the door and saw the figure of a woman standing there, at the door. And so she goes to answer it and opens the door, and no one's there. And it's impossible for anyone to move in that split instant of, oh, I see you through the door, open, gone. And then she instantly, like that week, moved out of that house. And it was funny because myself and my mom actually went to that house one time, like I think it was in middle school or something, or high school, just because we were in the area, and we were like, oh, this is the house you used to live in. And my mom and I were like, oh, let's go walk over and look at it. And my grandma was like, I'm just going to wait in the car. I mean,
She just saw the reflection in the door.
her own reflection.
I'm leaving.
But yeah, I mean, I believe her because my grandma literally is not a liar.
And this was Echo Park, early Echo Park, when it was still a bad place?
I mean, it might not have been Echo Park. I can't remember exactly where it is, but it was near downtown, like LA area.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, this was probably late 40s, early 50s.
I appreciate them moving immediately because
Instead of just
when you
dealing with
have-
it?
Yeah, when you have like moments that happen. I mean, I've never luckily had anything like that, but in horror movies, she did the exact thing that you should do.
Yeah, instead of, this is our house. No, clearly not.
That's what the ghost says.
Wait, do you guys hear that? We should split up.
Black guy, go alone.
There was a movie where very recently where actually no, because it's a thing for Happy Death Day. I want to spoil it, but
One of my favorite, not one of my favorite, but a like kitschy horror movie that I really like, Deep Blue Sea.
I
Oh
love
my
Deep
God.
Blue
Love
Sea,
Deep Blue Sea.
dude. I watched that
Because,
a million times when I was
I
younger.
mean, LL Cool J doesn't die. Spoiler alert.
also Deep Rising. There
Also,
weren't any. I don't think there
Event
were-
Horizon.
Event Horizon. Yeah. I have a terrifying story for you guys about love lost and trauma. Actually, it happened. I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys. I didn't mention it the day it happened. I think I brought it up very briefly. I was in the office by myself.
Here?
Here.
Were you masturbating or peeing in a cup?
No, I was working as normal because this would have been terrible if I was caught masturbating by an old mother and her daughter.
Oh.
They walked in.
I think you told.
You did
Yeah,
tell
I told.
us.
Oh yeah, I told you guys.
Everyone
but I'll
did.
tell you, because this is a good lesson on saying no that I think everybody needs to learn. So an old Hispanic woman and her daughter walked in. Their race doesn't matter. I shouldn't have brought that up. She came up to me as her daughter was behind her when I was at my desk right over here, and she was at Kib's desk actually. She was right up to
Did
it.
she touch it?
No, I don't know.
Thank God. I hope not.
And she just in a broken voice calmly just says, my husband is recently passed, and we're trying our best to make this work, and if there's any way that I can. And she also delved into the story quite a bit more. I don't remember exactly specifics from it, but it was to build up a good character arc for her and her daughter. And she was like, if there's any way I can clean this office or anything for you guys, if that's possible, that would be amazing. It would help us out, and we'd be able to have a home. And I looked up from my desk, and I calmly said back to her, oh, you know what? I actually had to pull out my 401k just to make this all work, which is completely true. And we're experiencing great financial crisis right now, so I'm going to have to pass on that. And I said it a little bit less of like assholey than I did right now. And she was like, are you... Oh, I also mentioned the car accident. She was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I, just dealing with it day at a time. But I'm sorry for your loss. And she was like, all right, we'll be going. And I never saw her again.
You should have hired her, dude. What the fuck?
Well, we already have a cleaner. First off, we already have a cleaner
in the show.
and we have no money.
New character in the show to clean.
Yeah, that'd have been great. So that was that.
Man, so you know what's the lesson learned there?
The lesson learned there is say no to people when you can't, because I highly doubt that her husband actually died, and that was not a
No, it was
real
more
story.
likely she wouldn't have brought her daughter in.
Yeah, that was just like a.
It was a ploy.
Yeah, absolutely was.
It would be shitty if it wasn't, and God bless your soul if it wasn't. But like likely, and it's unfortunate that we even have to think like that as a society. But like, it is what it is.
Yeah,
And
there are
also,
a lot of con people out
there are
there.
a lot of
there is a
people.
lot of work that you don't have to go begging door to door to get.
Yeah.
There's so much work in California, and workers. You know what? It's not even worth getting into. There are a lot of other places she could have gone.
I always think about what would I do for money if I was completely homeless and had zero people in my lives. I was like, oh, I'd have my guitar and I'd just busk. Then I was like, what would I do without my guitar? Be homeless, just as homeless as anyone. Do nothing.
Well, you could go on welfare.
I'm thinking
And-
if I was an American, I was Canadian and had no way to do that.
You would make your way back to Canada.
How would I do that?
Deported.
You could get deported easily if you get like
guess
arrested or something.
You're right. They would
Which you
send me
Yeah,
back to Canada
they would put you in a fucking bus, send your ass back, boy.
So you would go back to Canada, and then you'd
on welfare.
and if you didn't have any family to go back to, you would go on welfare,
Mhm.
and then you would probably spend it wisely, I imagine, because you're not a drug addict and you don't.
Jelly
Have,
beans.
So the next story we
Black
have
ones.
is another topical.
All right, where's Alfredo?
Alfredo.
is he here?
Alfredo.
He's been standing by the door the whole time. I don't know. He's
Oh yeah,
behind
no,
it, which
actually
is
you're
weird.
right.
Oh, go back to being smaller. There you go. God.
All right.
Jesus, dude.
Everybody.
Okay, Alfredo. So we have some questions for you from the fans, and excuse me, different word. And the first question is, what type of video games do you play, Alfredo? Looking to play more games, and I figure you have the most refined gamer palette. That's from Kyle W.
My gamer talent? My talents are strong and lined with musk.
Oh, I don't.
But
think
the
you
mud
heard
is
me.
getting all over the place. That pisses me off.
Talent.
And Alfredo, do you play Guild Wars 2? My username is Sugarpine Kib. You can give me free stuff if you play it.
Wow, kid, pretty stupid and lame of you. Okay, the type of games that I play, only cops and robbers.
Cops and robbers. Not even a video game.
I play cops and robbers with all the kids in the neighborhood. I ring the bell and I go ding, 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 and every kid runs out and they go pop, pop.
Have you met Kevin?
He's fucking killed. Pop, pop. Rum, pum, pum.
But also the other games that I play besides cops and croppers is I get a little piece of bamboo and I take my 6 fingers and I stick the bamboo up my fingernails and I pull it out and I go again and again and again and then I'm
Alfredo.
ready.
Do they watch you?
Why are you
Ready
do
for what?
that?
I'm ready to play Guild Wars 2.
Yeah. Let's
What's
play
your-
sometime, dude.
Never. I play on Crisp C.
I do too.
Is that a server?
What's a server?
Type of computer.
Oh wow.
It's made of grease.
You're really on Grease lately.
It's my new favorite style.
Okay, that's cool. All right. So the second question is.
Oh wait! Before you say that, you know what I realized in the last podcast? Everyone knew exactly who.
By
Yeah,
looking-
because
you were looking at me when.
I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah,
I
it is
don't know. Yeah. Okay, Alfredo. Second question.
the third.
Third. Nope.
We're gonna do this in the second.
Let's smile it down.
Oh God, the banging! Shut up.
All right. So,
Well,
Sorry, back, dude.
Sorry about that.
Oh,
Alfredo. I
This-
apologize.
so the question says, "Dearest Alfredo, how can I become as successful as you? Much love, Cameron C." You smell so bad.
It's coffee beans.
Well, as you know, I went to school for parents. So I found a lot of joy in my career path.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good lesson for anyone that tries to learn it. You know? Anyone that wants to do what they can, they should. First off, everybody that I know went to school for countless years, and that's another thing that I did, is I went to trolley school. I went to trolley school
Trolley
for...
school.
What?
Huh?
Why are you
Oh,
laughing?
so sorry. Just trolley school is weird for me because I went also.
What'd you learn?
Trapping.
Trapping, yes,
Tripping.
yes.
Tripping, sorry.
Tripping, yes, yes.
You too, Alfredo?
Trapping and tripping. That was my thesis.
Do you want to have a jelly bean? You got it.
Wow, it was a simple catch for you.
So I think all in all, you have to learn about different sides of film whenever you want to get better. But also, specifically for you, Autumn, if you want to be as successful as me, just open yourself up to anyone. Open
up.
yourself up for once.
Open up,
You
bitch.
silly, crazy man.
Bitch.
Understand?
You used the same advice last time, so I like that one.
I think
though.
it
It's actually
falls
good.
fall.
All right, great. Okay, third question. Alfredo, what should I do about my lack of motivation? My inability to start doing things is ruining my life. Love, Mitchell from Alabama.
Now when you say ruining, you mean all the ancient ones?
No, like it's ruining their life. Like it's making their life worse.
Worse than it already is.
Oh, so your lack of masturbation? Your lack of masturbation? You should just jerk off more, idiot.
Oh, wow.
As simple as that. I'll teach you through it. You go skip scop on the belt, rip off your pants, make sure they rip in half. Do not zip them. You take your left palm,
Mm-hmm.
spit garbage on it, and then you slap your cockhead back and forth until it splits.
How would a girl do it?
Same thing.
Same way, dude.
Except you slap your cockhead.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
And then what you do for motivation is you run up and down the walls until you fall on your feet.
Not all
Blood
of us,
everywhere. You
not all of us
scoop
can
it
do
up.
that.
You scoop it up, put it on a cold stone, you create ice cream. Then what you do with the ice cream is you scrounge around under the house with the rats and the scarabs, and then you make sure that they get
The scarabs.
What's so funny about this? You ask for my advice, you bring me onto this podcast.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Pirates cast.
Oh man. Sorry, Alfredo. Sometimes you say things and they don't.
I'm answering truthfully.
I know. I know.
You're acting like a
It's just-
gremlin.
your life is insane. So.
Scarabs.
All right. Last question. My man boy doesn't pay attention to me enough. What would you do when you're being ignored? P.S. Call me big boy. That's from Lisa C.
I'll never call you. Man, boy, lady boy, whatever boy.
Very good.
Good advice from Alfredo as always.
But they're not paying attention?
Yeah.
To what?
So her boyfriend isn't paying attention to her.
Her boyfriend's not paying attention?
Mm-hmm.
To who?
Her.
Who?
Her.
Okay. So who's not paying attention?
The boyfriend is not paying attention to the girlfriend.
To who?
The boyfriend isn't paying attention to the girlfriend.
Now who?
The girl, who is the girlfriend who wrote the thing to us.
I'm getting hives.
Can we call her up?
No.
She asked you to call her and you said you weren't going to.
Oh, it's the first thing you said.
Do they not have a number?
What?
You said you wouldn't call her, dude.
And I won't.
So then have the thing to say.
So who's not getting respect?
The girl is not getting respect from the boy. Attention.
Why not?
Exactly.
Is she hot?
Yeah.
Is she not getting respect?
She's not getting attention.
Is she hot?
Yeah.
Can we call her?
No.
Okay.
Bye.
What's her number?
Alfredo, I think we're done here. Go back to the closet.
All right, buddy.
Yeah. Oh.
Stop just banging the table.
Okay, I'm going now.
All right.
You're just banging your feet. You're still at the table.
Okay, now I'm going for
yeah,
sure.
I need you to leave fast.
Okay, I'm gonna go call her.
Oh, don't. You don't have her
You
number.
didn't get a number.
You're just making noises.
So,
God damn it, dude. Why do we have that segment?
Yeah, I don't like that
I
at
don't know.
all.
People seem to like it.
Oh, it gave me a hive. I think right in the middle of my head.
I feel you,
stop
dude.
scratching it.
I think I've
Oh
had
my
so
God,
bad.
Autumn, stop scratching it. You're
Is
making it
it
so
really
much
actually
worse.
that bad?
Yes.
It looks like the beginning of the design
Oh,
of
really?
drawing a swastika on your
Holy fuck,
forehead
it's
from Inglourious
awful.
Bastards.
You look like you
Well-
have a great message.
Guys, I've had 3,000 milligrams of caffeine in beans.
Oh my fuck, dude. This was almost full.
I'm gonna have a Harlem attack.
Oh, I actually am so embarrassed of this.
No, you don't look bad.
It looks
It literally
bad.
just looks like a red spot that maybe you've been itching.
Well, I have a hive, so.
You don't look weird at all.
Okay,
So
that's
talk about
good.
the
Look at-
rest
Well, I
of
didn't
this.
say it
It
looked.
literally just looks like you went like this a couple
Yeah.
times too hard and it's just
Shut
starting to red.
up.
Well, he's making me feel better.
As he should.
I have no
So-
Have that one?
self-esteem.
You should.
Hey, one thing
lovely.
Kid?
that we should talk about
Kid?
actually is
Have that
our
one.
future content plan. You know, just a little brief analysis of what's going to happen. Can I have that one that's right there?
Just a
Throw it at
little
me.
rat shit.
That just only went to my chest. Great.
What about this one, dude?
No, I don't want rat shit. Okay. Throw it. I caught it. Okay. So we have some
Can't
big
get it
plans
out.
coming up.
I can't get it in my mouth.
Put it in his mouth. Oh,
God damn,
yuck,
man.
dude.
Oh.
Oh, gross beads.
They're
There's a lot
anal
of
beads
chapstick on there.
There was truly.
and shit.
It's coating your mouth.
We're working on season 2, wrapping it up towards the end of what, December,
Yeah, Christmas time.
Christmas time. So expect, and especially now that the woods is over and we don't have like too much on our plate, expect a lot more out of office videos. I know everybody has been wanting those recently,
Yeah,
so
we've got one coming up this week.
we're hoping to do like a bunch of those
Yeah.
in the coming few weeks. And then we have another special video that I'm more than excited about. It's Day in the Life of Alfredo 2, all in the point of Alfredo for the most part, and it's called Murder at the Rose Hotel. It's going to be like a take on Murder on the Orient Express, basically. And that's a big video that we're working on, something that we're hoping to have like good quality cameras.
We're
and
gonna
everything.
strap a GoPro to Alfredo's cockhead. The thing rotates, so you'll see a lot.
So I think that's where we're going to wrap it up this week. Once again, thank you to our sponsor, Nobody. We have
I sponsored this episode.
we do have merch out right now. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think it's socks. Oh, we still have socks out. There's probably some other stuff on the website too. If there's not any merch, there's going to be some soon.
Can we say what's soon to come?
No, but there is more merch that's very soon to come. We also would very much appreciate anyone signing up for First and keeping that membership up through past the trial period,
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's definitely going to help us down the line pay back for the woods, because that money
Only
is
a
not
loan.
that money was a loan, so we have to pay that back, and also all the economic strife that we're in always with demonetization is leaving us desperate. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching this episode of Beyond the Pine. I'm Steven Suptic.
James DeAngelis.
Kib, Clayton James.
And I'm Autumn Farrell.
You know what to do.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
No, they know what to do.
Oh no,